talking about head and neck cancers as a whole, if you are asked about how they are to be treated, so any early stage cancer, that is stage 1 or stage 2 cancer, will be treated by a single modality therapy. That means only a single treatment modality will be used. This, depending on the site or the subsite, may be surgery or radiotherapy. So we'll be covering the topic site wise. So at that time you'll come to know which is the preferred modality with respect to the site. When we're talking about locally advanced tumors, that is stage 3 and stage 4 tumors, there we require a combined modality. This combined modality can be a chemo radiation alone, or it can be surgery followed by radiation or chemo radiation. So a combination of these therapy is required for stage 3 or stage 4 cancers. So many times you might get a question where they are asking about, they are giving a stage of the tumor and they are asking you to tell what is the treatment modality which needs to be chosen, and you can mention that okay, for advanced stage cancers we require a combined modality treatment or a multi-modality treatment. Before we move further ahead, you need to be aware of certain molecular changes which happen in head and neck squamous cell cancers. Now these might just come in as a form of MCQ, and you should be aware of at least the common genetic changes. We won't be going into detail of all these, but then you should be aware of these genetic changes. So commonly what we see are mutations, loss of heterozygosity, methylation. If we talk about genes which are affected, it can be CDKN2A, it can be TP53. Sometimes what can happen is there can be overexpression of EGFR gene, or there might be some changes with respect to tyrosine kinase receptors. So you should be aware of these terms: CDKN2A gene, TP53 gene, EGFR gene, or receptor tyrosine kinase receptors. Now there are certain inherited diseases where you can have head and neck cancers. Now commonly asked questions with respect to these are like which of them are inherited conditions related with head and neck cancers, or what genes are involved, or whether they are autosomal dominant or recessive. So in this slide we have sort of summarized it. Commonly asked is Li-Fraumeni syndrome. This is associated with TP53 gene and it is autosomal dominant. Then is Fanconi's anemia. It is autosomal recessive, and as from Fanconi you can understand, Fanc DNA repair gene is involved out here. Besides that, there might also be a FAM syndrome, which includes melanoma, pancreatic, breast as well as head and neck cancers, and this is involved with CDKN2A gene. Other syndromes which you might be asked and are related with head and neck cancers are Bloom syndrome, ataxia telangiectasia. Both of them are autosomal recessive. So please remember, Li-Fraumeni is autosomal dominant, others are generally autosomal recessive. Besides that, prolonged use of immunosuppressive drug in transplant patients may even lead to head and neck cancers. CDKN2A besides FAM syndrome may also be related with MTS1, where again it is related to melanoma, pancreas, breast and head and neck cancers.